right, welcome to our first DSC Resource Kit community call of 2017. As a reminder, this call is recorded. We don't have a lot on the agenda for this call. Not a lot has happened in the past month since there's been a lot of vacations, a little bit of illness going around. So it's going to be a short call. The status of PSDC resources is fairly simple at the moment. I'm working on updating archive. Mariah is working on updating environment. Other than that, almost all the inbox resources have now been added to PSDSC resources. The only big one that we're missing still is package. But everything else should be either in the works or here now. As far as modules, currently on track to be released next week. That's going to be PSDSC resources, Exchange, Hyper-V, networking, XPS desired state configuration, SQL Server, and web administration. So that's about 7 modules so far that are going to go out. It's pretty good for a slow month. And for the new module submissions that are waiting, we're still working on security policy DSC, and we'll update you when we're getting ready to look at the other modules. And that's about it. Does anybody from the community have any topics they'd like to discuss or questions they'd like to ask? Feel free to voice them.
Johan Ljunggren here. I have one question. I posted an issue regarding PowerShell 4, if we're going to support it. I see you haven't you haven't tagged those issues, so you probably haven't read them yet.
Yeah. Issues in DSC resources or in?
Yeah, in DSC resources.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our general support for WMF4 is it's nice if our modules can support it, but it's not a focus of us. So you can see like PSDSC resources, it doesn't even support 5. You have to have actually 5.1. And of that, you actually have to have a specific version of 5.1 on top of that. So like for this module specifically, it was actually impossible to support 4 or even 5. So we just said that's all we can do. We can just provide 5.1. For other modules, we tried to stay supporting 4.0 if it originally supported 4.0. So I know XPS desired state configuration, on the other hand, does support WMF 4.0 and 5.0. If someone were to say, add a class-based resource to XPS desired state configuration, it would no longer be able to support 4.0. And I would be fine with that, saying the module now has to move on to 5.0. It would be considered a breaking change to say you cannot use this on 4.0 anymore, but that's all right for at least the experimental resources. You're asking specifically for XSQL Server?
Yeah, but also others. Daniel and I have a conversation about it. But for my currently we have issues of technical depth to moving forward with PowerShell 4. So if we can move forward with just PowerShell 5, it will be simpler. But we have a lot of resources that does not support WMF4 right now.
Yeah.
But also, is it possible if we have a resource of actually supporting PowerShell 4, can we remove that support? You said it would be a breaking change, of course, but are we allowed to do that?
I would say yes. because we'd rather stay as up to date with PowerShell as we possibly can. And then if someone needed to use the resource for 4.0, like they can always go back and use the older version of the
Yeah.
resource. It's not going to have all the bells and whistles as the most updated version, but uh, ultimately then they should probably update their PowerShell or their WMF.
Yeah. So the short answer is yes, move forward with PowerShell 5 only. And
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, great. No more question from me.
Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, thanks for joining, and I'll talk to you guys again in a month. Bye.
Bye.